do you think are your beliefs? Now, where do our beliefs come from is something probably all of us know already. But what I would like to share and put more importance on is how powerful do you think is your belief? How powerful? Immensely. Yes. Anybody else? So, I found this quote. It's written by a person called Neville. He wrote a book on the power of awareness. And he writes, the power of awareness, our power of belief, is an infinite power against which no earthly force is of the slightest significance. No earthly force is of the slightest significance. I remember, I heard this story long back. I don't know what is the source of the story, but the source of the story was that there was this enlightened man, and there was this king who found out about this guy who was becoming very popular, so popular even more than the king, having nothing. The king ordered to bring him up, and they called him up, and the king himself cut his throat. He cut the neck, and he was holding his head in his hand in a public ceremony, holding his hand, and he said, "Look, I killed him. I am more powerful." So he just wanted to prove. And the moment he was saying that, the head turned to him and said, "That is what you think, you killed me." So, there's also this story I've heard. This guy is in the Guinness Book of World Records. This guy is in Guinness Book of World Record only for one reason. You know what is the reason? He was shot 6 bullets in his head at point blank range. Okay, from here, 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 here. 6 times point blank range. He didn't die. His face is deformed. You can see the bullet, poking this, that way and all. He's still alive. He goes around the world to show the power of God, according to him. So after shooting him 6 times, the guy who was shooting him and his superior who was looking at the whole process said, "Bhaiya, ye to Bhagwan ka banda lagta hai, isko chhod do." And they released him. He was a criminal, but they released him. So, one more parable or one more story that I would like to share is the story of a Tibetan monk. He was sitting on a stone, on a rock, on a mountain, on the edge of a mountain, and meditating. When he was meditating, there was a big boulder coming from behind. And he knew that it's coming towards him. But he sat there. He just sat there and kept on meditating. And as he kept on meditating, the boulder came right where he was. The boulder, split, touched both his elbows, and passed him by. And when he woke up, he's like, "Shit, I should have believed even more strongly." So he's not saying, "Oh, I'm so happy I'm alive." His thought process is, "Shit, I should believe more strongly. My belief wasn't strong enough. I got my scratches." So that is the kind of thought process that these beliefs are made of. Please, all those folded hands, release them. So now, we all know our lives are based on beliefs. So I'm not going to focus more on belief. But what, as a therapist, I found a very important information is what I would like to share today before we go into the real homework part. Actually, can somebody, be the timekeeper for me? Because when I start talking, so how long do I have?
As soon as you want.
No. 6:30. So how long is that? 1 hour 15 minutes, right? Because last half an hour I would like to dedicate to a meditation. So if anybody can just tell me before say 40 minutes.
45 minutes. 6 to 6:30 would be the meditation.
Yes, 6 to 6:30. So I have 45 minutes. Good. So can anybody just let me know, मेरे को इशारा कर देना. So yeah. So yes, you guys want the AC to be less? Done. So yeah. So now the information that I found was very useful for me as a therapist and also for my personal growth because I keep doing a lot of personal work. So what I found out was that we actually don't have one mind, we have two minds. We all know conscious mind and the subconscious mind, nothing new about it. But what was a more important information was what are the characteristics of these minds? When I came across it, I don't know, probably you all guys already know it, but when I came across this particular, I was like, Sachi yaar, I never thought of it this way. So what are the characteristics of these two minds? Conscious mind, it is volitional. That means it has the power to choose. So the decisions that we take in our life is what our conscious mind does. That is the work of our conscious mind. So if you choose that you want to sit in this classroom, that's a conscious decision. And conscious mind is the one that sets goal, judges results, likes to try new things. So this is what the conscious mind does. This is a function of the conscious mind. So setting goal, like what would you like to become say 5 years from today? And after 5 years from today, you'll sit yourself and judge yourself. How far did I reach? How much percentage did I achieve? Things like that. And this is all how the world is functioning. Conscious mind. They all want to put effort. They all want results. They all want their children to become good engineers, doctors, and things like that. So this is all the conscious mind, the conscious play. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, is habitual. And it monitors the operations of the body, breathing, heart rate, digestion, etc. It prefers the familiar. So this is a point which we need to be aware of. That it prefers the familiar. The reason I asked you not to fold your hands was because the moment it is unfamiliar, the subconscious says, okay, I'm out of it. बचपन में वो कहते हैं ना, आंखें खोल के मत सोया करो. Don't sleep with your open eyes. In the schools they say, because we are there listening and gone. We are not there. So that is our subconscious. But we have to be thankful to this subconscious because this subconscious is the one which is making us breathe, which is taking control of our heart rate, our blood pressure, everything, the digestion process. We thought these were all automatic, but they're not automatic. They depend on your subconscious. And this is a very important information because your subconscious is monitoring all these. So subconscious is the one that has the authority to heal or not to heal any of these parts. So conscious mind thinks abstractly, conceptual based. So when we get into a problem, the first thing that we do is we go read a book or we talk to a friend. So this is all the process of the conscious mind. Subconscious mind thinks laterally, the big picture, and is sensory based. That is why whenever we want to connect to our past lives, we ask the person, what are you feeling? We don't say, what are you thinking? Or what are you doing? We say, what are you feeling? Because we are trying to access the subconscious memories. And memories are stored with the 5 senses. Like Dr. Newton in his basic workshop, he makes us all do this exercise to find out which sense of yours is working at the peak. So that when you go into a regression, you can work based on that particular sense. So all the information that is there in subconscious is in the form of feeling. So what is the feeling made up of? Feeling is made up of two components, a thought and an emotion. Okay? So conscious mind is responsible for short-term memory. So we are all Gajanis when it comes to short-term. So Gajani had 10 minutes memory time. We have only 20 seconds. So that means the moment you got out of the room upstairs and you decided to come down here into this room, by the time you reach downstairs, if you are depending only on your conscious mind, you would be lost once you reach downstairs because you don't know where you want to go, why you want to go there. You will even forget the decision that you have taken to come to this class. So that is how much conscious mind limitations are. Your conscious mind is working very well. Then the subconscious mind is responsible for long-term memory. Experiences, attitudes, values, past, everything is stored in our subconscious mind. Conscious mind is time-based. So it has past and it has future. That is why the moment we are conscious, we start thinking either about the past or about the future. Whereas subconscious mind is timeless, does present time only, doesn't understand future tense. So this is a very important point for those who work with affirmations. That is why they say affirmations never work when you say them in the future tense, because the affirmations needs to seep into your subconscious, but your subconscious doesn't understand future tense. So if you say, I will become rich, it will never work for you. But when you say, I am rich, then you start to think, but I'm not right now. So it's a lie. But when you say, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, now the basis of affirmations is that to make it, you have to fake it. So when you start faking it, that I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, the more you say it, you start feeling it. So you start feeling the feeling of the richness. And your subconscious mind understands feelings. So this is the basis of affirmations. So until and unless you reach the feeling stage, it will not work for you. Just repeating it like a mantra. Every mantra, if you go into mantra science is what? Mantra science is also the same concept. Every mantra has a particular meaning. But we have forgotten the meaning long back. Still they work because every mantra has a sound-based energy, and that sound-based energy is based on the Bij Aksharas. Bij Aksharas are the Aksharas which respond to our chakras. So when we use those particular sound energies, we use those vibrations, feelings, so they affect our subconscious. But the moment we start doing them very unconsciously, they also don't work. And if we don't understand the energy and the feeling that we are supposed to work with, even they don't work. Reason? Because they are supposed to go into your subconscious. But it doesn't. Conscious mind has a limited processing capacity. 1 to 3 events on average, 2000 bits of information per second. That is all. It is said women are better at the conscious level than men are. That is why women are able to do more multitasking than a man can. So a woman can be in the kitchen, listening to the television or watching the television, cooking the food, talking on the phone, and when a courier guy comes, she can manage even him. But the same thing a man cannot do. If he is talking to someone on the phone, somebody else comes and starts speaking, hey, Rokna, wait a second, we can't handle. And this is a process that Okay, going to the subconscious mind. Expanded processing capacity, thousands of events, average 4 billion bits of information per second. So that is the power of your subconscious mind. Now, to give you an example, the moment you are learning how to drive, so when you are learning how to drive, what are you doing? You start learning just the steering wheel first. Then they give you the accelerator, then the brake, then the clutch, the gears, one after the other. Each one of them takes a few days. So what is happening? When you are learning, the program is seeping from your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. And when you become a pro driver, you're speaking on the phone, you're driving your car, and you don't even realize when the house has come. You've reached your home. You don't realize taking the right turns, the left turns, crossing all over the traffic. You don't even remember. Why? Because your subconscious has taken over. So, one example I would like to give here about this 4 billion bits of information per second. It is said that if you are a very good hypnotist and you have a very good subject who can get hypnotized, say 100%, and you let us say that person is here in this room right now, and we hypnotize them and we take them to today, right now, to this moment, and I ask him, okay, how many people clapped? How many claps were in total? And he'll tell you exactly how much number. And then you ask him, how many times did Kiran clap? How many times did Kamal clap? How many times, and he will tell you precisely how many times. And then you ask him, how many mosquitoes in that room? He'll tell you precisely how many mosquitoes in this room. That is how powerful our subconscious is. That is how much information our subconscious is processing every second. Understand? So, when we say God is within us, it's not a joke. It is not something that, it has to be achieved. Ramtha puts it very well. The whole process of enlightenment is a journey from here to here. Because your subconscious is here. So all the nerves, there is this particular part of your body which they recognize as the subconscious mind, is said to be connected with so many nerves that the rest of the body, nowhere it is connected. It's a very small piece of your brain. So it is also called as the God inside you. So the journey from here to here is just from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. Because the front part of your head is considered to be the conscious mind.
Monish, who is that? Yes. I have one question for you. And you said about the subconscious mind. I'm also related to the subconscious mind. You said that we are able to recall that this we can utilize the person. And even his mind is so much power that he can tell who exactly for the clamp and how much muscular is there. Is it there is something to hold all this?
Yes. These are all proved stuff that I am telling you. So I'm not giving you any information here which is not proved.
No, I know. When we are standing there, have to be the current, all the evidence.
Yes. Yes. It is all proved information. Yes.
I can't get the name back, but just to help him with the answer, there is a certain method used for children's education also. Flashcards is something I think which a lot of us are familiar, but apart from words and language, cards are used also for math. And for math, you may have something like one card with as many as 80, 90, 100, 200 dots on it, the same size, the same shape, the same color. You have the exact number written on the back side of the card so that the person who's conducting it can see it. And all you do is flash it at the rate of 1 second a card in front of the child, twice a day. You do 15 cards, which is something like 15 seconds a day, 15 seconds per time, so 30 seconds a day. And at the end of the week, it is found that the child can look at the card and recognize the number. So the child will look at the card and tell you 99 dots. So there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counting. And that obviously is related to what you're talking about.
Thank you. That was a new information. So now, how do we change the subconscious? Because that's the whole point. The reason I was talking about subconscious is because we need to understand, as a therapist, we need to understand the difference between the conscious and the subconscious. So, what is found is that, which is very obvious, we all as a therapist, we know that the subconscious, whenever the subconscious is, whenever the subconscious is, what is that word? What is that? Accessed, yeah. Whenever the subconscious is accessed, that is when, if you are able to change the belief in your subconscious, it makes all the difference. Like, I had this experience. I went for an inner child therapy, and when I went through that whole process, I transformed a particular belief. And I still, even today I remember, I said to my therapist that I feel new in the same skin. You know, I was feeling new. There was something new about me. I didn't know what that was, but it was something new. So, why did that happen? Because of the functioning of the subconscious, because everything was changing in the subconscious. But how? Information and tools. So 3 stages of changing the belief. Very famous. Everybody knows it. No. Dr. Newton's favorite 3 stages of changing a belief. He asks that question in every exam.
It's identification.
Exactly.
Transformation.
So now I would like to ask, what is identification? What is disidentification? And what is transformation? I would like each one of you to tell your understanding, because I want to increase my understanding.
I would like to share the experience that I just had in Chitra class.
I would like in terms of
Yes.
identification, disidentification, transformation.
Exactly this happened, therefore I would like to say that. When I was undergoing, I felt there's a lot of load on my back and a lot of fear and all that was there. And when I went very deep in it, I realized this is not my fear, this is my mother's fear that I'm carrying. So identification is, this is my load, and this identification, this is not mine, this is my mother's. As soon as I understood this, I disowned it. It's not mine. And then real transformation started coming. Okay, I'm free of that fear, I need not carry it, it's not mine.
Right.
This is the transformation that I'm feeling, and I'm feeling very light.
Very good. Excellent. Anybody else? What is identification? What is disidentification? And what is transformation? There are no right or wrong answers. Whatever you understand. Yes.
Identification is looking at something as your own, and this identification looking at something as an observer with a detached viewpoint. And transformation is looking at it with a detached perspective, bringing about a change.
Very good. Thank you. Anybody else? How many therapists here? Please speak up.
Feel that emotion, that is identification. Feeling that particular emotion. Disidentification is to disassociate. And then the transformation is, like she said, it's not mine. Feeling that new.
Feeling that new. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
This identification could be detaching oneself. Or you step back.
Stepping back.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you identify you're one with it. Like you are in the water, you are drowning. You disidentify and say, no, this is not for me. Step back. And that brings about a transformation and bigger than that.
Right. Okay. So in your example, disidentification is transformation. The way you have put it.
Completely, yeah, it would lead to it.
Okay.
It's acknowledging detachment also takes time. When you acknowledge it, then you are transformed.
Okay, when you acknowledge that you are disidentified, that is when that is transformation. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else?
I'm going to contest that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the joint process of identifying and disidentifying as two polarities, when you go through identification and then the disidentification, that's when an internal or a neutral balance strikes where it's transformation.
Right.
So you go through this and the next, and then that's when you come back to the same.
Like a pendulum.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. That
So
was
like
very good.
mine was this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I will put forward my understanding, which you guys have also put forward. Same thing, nothing new. So identification, like you said, yes, that you are that. So when you identify with something, when you identify with a belief, let us say the belief is, I'm not good enough. So the moment you feel you are that, right? So that is identification. You are whatever you are saying. You don't even think that you have a choice to think otherwise. You know? So that is identification, that you become that you are that at that moment. Then disidentification, I would like you all said, the same thing, but disidentification is letting go of the emotional charge. See, like I said, every feeling has two components, thought and emotion. So the moment you are that thought and emotion put together, you are identifying with it. But the moment you cut through the emotional part, you know, only the thought remains. That is when, like she said, coming out of the water. What does water represent? Water is emotions. So coming out of your emotions. Like you said that, you know, first you identify you are on one polarity, then you see the other polarity. What happens when we see the other polarity? We realize we have a choice. That yes, I can also choose to be this. And then you make a choice to be whatever you want to be, and knowing that you can be either this or that, or a combination of both. So that brings in transformation. Clear? So now, coming into the homework part. Like I said, I wanted to divide homework in terms of for both the therapist as well as the people who are not therapists, to learn what is that we would be able to do in those cases where the client is, say, not getting regressed, or even if they get regressed, the session is successful. What can they apply in the cricket field when they are playing the cricket, when they are living their life on their own? So I chose to give the example going by the chakras, because I find chakras give us a very good understanding to diagnose what the problem is, where the problem is, and how to resolve the problem in an easy methodology, and what kind of a homework can be given, or what kind of a after therapy work can be given. So I am not going into the complex study of chakras. I'm just going to go in a very simple way, because my focus is not how chakras function, what is the base of chakras. I'm not interested in all that. All that I'm interested is that chakras give us kind of a map as to what can I do if I have a problem in this particular kind of area. So to start with, the first base chakra, which is called as the Mooladhara, Mool Adhar. It is your base. Okay? So the element of this chakra is earth.